Recently, I made the absolute best prime rib I have ever had in my entire life, and it was done on the Blichmann BrewEasy. If you'd like to see how it turned out, stick around. Hello everyone and welcome back. Larry here again to talk about an experience I had recently that I want to share with you all. Recently for Christmas Day, I hosted a family gathering where I set out to make an entire spread of food, right? I had the sides going, some breads, other things, but the main course was going to be the prime rib, which is actually a full-size 18-pound boneless ribeye roast, prime grade, by the way. Just happened to be prime, but cost a little bit extra money, but it's all they had left in the store. So anyway, but I wanted to cook this thing right because I paid so much money for this prime grade 18-pound cut of meat. I didn't want to kind of throw it in the oven or on the grill and give different shades of gray throughout. I wanted a homogeneously pink, medium rare cross section from end to end, side to side and end to end. And the only real way I can do that, I can get close by doing a very low and slow cooking method and then with a reverse sear on the end. But I've been getting into sous vide, which is cooking in a plastic bag under water, basically, to get the food cooked to your perfect temperature. And I've been doing that a little bit more and more. I've done it earlier this year. If you may recall, I did a Italian beef sandwiches recipe on my grandfather. Well, this 18-pound roast is much bigger than a 3 or 4 pound round roast that I used for that video. So I needed something much bigger. And what I have is the Blichmann BrewEasy and the Spike Solo. Both of them were capable of doing this, but I chose the BrewEasy because it had a start delay timer on it, and that made all the difference because I was able to fill this BrewEasy up with water the night before, and then set a timer to start before I got up in the morning. So I started a timer to start up at 5 a.m. By 6 o'clock, I was up and throwing the meat into the warm water, which was set at a perfect 131 degrees. So that was awesome. And I've never done sous vide on this scale before, right? So it was interesting experience. I wasn't quite sure how much water to use, so I wouldn't overflow the vessel or have too little water where the heating coils would be exposed and burn out, right? So I did a little bit of experimentation for those of you who want to know how much water to use. And for my 10-gallon BrewEasy system, which is a 20-gallon kettle and a 15-gallon mash tun, I used just a tad, right around a tad over 20 gallons. And that was in the brew kettle, and I needed that to give me enough water up in the mash tun so that these big hunks of meat, which I had to cut in half, by the way, I couldn't fit a whole 18-pound log into the kettle. Well, I could. It would be on its side, and it would kind of stick up almost near the top of the 15-gallon mash tun. I didn't want to fill it up to that high of a capacity. So what I actually ended up doing was cutting this 18-pound roast into 2 9-pound roasts, and then also, because it's hard to find a big giant sous vide bag, I went online, I searched for a number of them, and I ordered some, and they ended up not being the right kind I needed. One was actually too big. I think it was a turkey browning bag. Anyway, I thought I'd take it easy on myself. I cut it in half, put it in 2.5 gallon Ziploc bags. I salted it first before I put it in the bag. I threw some rosemary and some other thyme and rosemary, I believe, in there, just because, right? So when it was all split up, I put it into the BrewEasy. So the 20 gallons I was talking about, a lot of that made its way up to the mash tun, which is how the BrewEasy works. It's a recirculating system, right? So the kettle down below is heating the water, all 20 gallons initially, thanks to the brew commander coming on at my scheduled time. And I had the recirculation pump already set to kick on as part of the timer. So at 5 o'clock in the morning, the pump kicked on, the heater kicked on, and started recirculating, and it filled up my mash tun. And thanks to the auto sparge that comes with the BrewEasy, it was able to maintain that level, all the while I was sleeping. So when I woke up in the morning, I went into the fridge, pulled out my 2 bags of 2 half roasts or 2 9-pound roasts of meat, put them in the BrewEasy, clipped them to the side of the pan so they wouldn't submerge all the way. Now I had to get the air out of the bags, and since I wasn't using a vacuum sealer to seal them, I just took the Ziploc bags and slowly lowered them into the water and let the water displace the air out of the bags before I zipped it all the way up at the very top. and I was able to clip them to the side of the vessel. So once that was going, I was done for the rest of the day. I would think that was about 6 a.m., about 4 p.m. It was about time to start searing the meat. So that's a long day, right? I mean, that was just about 10 hours worth of sous vide cooking time at 131 degrees. And with all my other sides prepared, it was getting close to time to eat dinner. Out came the bags of meat and onto a super hot grill. And I used my Slow and Sear Kamado, my S&S Grills Kamado. I just pretty much put all the coals in there, got it raging. Actually, I've been using that Kamado all day long to cook all the food, the ham, and other sides and things like that. All I did was take the deflector plate out and add a lot more coal and got it raging really hot. So by the time the food came out of the bag and threw it onto the grill, it was already searing within minutes. I turned it aside, turned it over on its end, just to get that nice color and char on it. It only took a matter of minutes. Then once you know it, everyone was ravenously hungry by this point, smelling the food and the aromas in the air, that there was a mad dash for the food. And yet again, I have failed to get a fresh slice video shot for you. The best I got was a shot from my brother-in-law, who was taking his own pictures of the meat while it was being devoured. So I don't have much to show you here.
December 25th, 2020, Larry killed a prime rib.
I killed it.
Better than mine.
Better than, all right. That's officially on the record.
It's on the record.
But just to let you know, that's not my point. I'm not going to show off a roast. I was wanting to actually talk about more about the method of cooking the roast, and that's what I'm trying to do here anyway. But trust me, that thing was perfectly pink from end to end. Juiciest meat I've ever eaten. And between that succulent, perfectly medium rare cross section of the meat, along with that crusty char on the outside, outstanding. I am definitely doing this again, and again and again and again. This is my way. I've done a small number of prime rib videos on my channel. I got one where I was doing it over high heat. I got one where I was doing it low and slow with a reverse sear. I got one where I think I might have just done it at a typical roasting temperature all the way through. I don't even remember, and that's all history for me because this is my way going forward. So that's my tale to share with you. If you have any questions about any points in this and how I did it, or any nuances with this, just leave me a comment down in the comment section down below. And if you found this video useful, give me that thumbs up for the algorithm to promote this video a little bit. And if you're a new viewer and not yet a subscriber, you might want to consider subscribing. I do both cooking and home brewing type videos on my channel. And if either one of those or both of those appeal to you, you might want to hit that subscribe button and hit that little ring bell on the side. All right. So everyone, happy holidays, happy New Year coming up, and I'll talk to you all later.